So the First Descendant 1.0.5 update notes dropped last night, and of course we got the new update early this morning, and with it comes some massive changes. I think it's definitely safe to say that the devs have been cooking. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gruzbee, and the Catgirl mascot is Fumi-chan. We're the reason your favorite TV show had its time slot changed, and now you can only watch clickbait DIY hack shorts on YouTube. Before we jump into this too deep though, do me just a quick favor and head down to the comments and let me know what major improvements and or changes you've been wanting addressed in the game, and if this new update covers any of those. While you're down there, be sure to hit that like button so that the YouTube algorithm remembers that my channel is not actually made of cardboard. So yeah, the game went into maintenance mode in the wee hours of the morning, and I decided that I would take some time and play some Pow World. Now, before I realized it, the patch notes were already out on Twitter, and holy crap, the devs have been cooking. This is probably one of the biggest and best bits of gaming news for us since the launch of the First Descendant. Now, the update notes are huge, and I'd love nothing more than to make a 45-minute long video combing through every single change and fix, but we also got a ton of things added to the game, as well as some tasty comments on future changes and implements that should be coming either in Season 1 or Season 2. So I'm going to cover those, and if you want to read over all of the small fixes and the changes, I will provide a link to those update notes that you can go check them out over on the official website. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we've got the update for 1.0.5 available now on Steam, Xbox Series X, S, Xbox One, PS4, and PS5. They have added Ultimate Valby. I have heard nothing but Ultimate Valby talk for the past 2 weeks, it seems, and the closer we got to the date, the more the gamers have collectively lost their marbles. Ultimate Valby modification modules are here. Spiral Tidal Wave. The bouncy bubble bullet has been replaced by a projectile that flies in a straight line. Spiral Tidal Wave is stackable and can be fired 3 times in a row and attracts impurities during the Gluttony Intercept battle. Hydro Pressure Bomb. Instead of plop plop, Valby leaps forward and deals damage to enemies around the landing area. The more enemies in the laundry state, the more powerful the damage. They've also added Ultimate Valby amorphous materials. Now, this is kind of interesting. They've changed a lot of the amorphous material patterns, and I'm not exactly sure why. So let's just go over this real quick. It says amorphous material patterns 11, 44, 115, 30, 55, 113, 23, 52, 73, 87, 110, and 125 can no longer be acquired. You can continue to use the amorphous materials you already have as before. They have now added the AA variants of amorphous materials of all of the ones listed, as well as some other ones. You can acquire the Enhanced Cell Blueprint, Stabilizer Blueprint, Spiral Catalyst Blueprint, and Code of Ultimate Valby from them. Ultimate Valby's Blueprint and Code materials will replace one of the items available from the original amorphous. The amorphous materials of the AA variant can be acquired and used in the same place as the original. We now have Descendant Luna, and I am super excited. I have really been looking forward to playing a support type character, and let me tell you, her skills are very unique, and I would dare to say that it's a bit of a learning curve trying to make them all work together, and I can really see how a strong Luna build can go a long ways in this game. Luna's skills. So she's got the passive skill, which is improvisation. Using any skill increases inspiration gauge, which allows Luna to use enhanced skills. So the passive skill improvisation is the one that is constantly active. So using the passive skill improvisation, you'll be able to stack the inspiration gauge, which is underneath your MP bar. Active skill 1 is going to be the one that's going to allow you to use the other skills. So it's stage presence. Using the skill changes Luna's weapon to her unique weapon, and then performing the notes in time to the music by using skills or hitting monsters, stacks, and increases her skill power modifier. Active skill 2, passionate stage. Using this skill makes Luna play upbeat music increasing the skill power modifier of Luna and her allies, gaining the enhanced effect, meaning if you're able to get those inspiration gauge stacked, then you will be able to use the enhanced version of this skill. And it increases the skill power modifier even more, and also increases the skill critical hit rate and damage done by allies. The active skill 3 is a relaxing act. Using this skill makes Luna play relaxing music. Hitting the enemy with a note grants an effect that instantly recovers the MP of Luna and her allies. Gaining the enhanced effect increases MP recovery and reduces skill cost. So it's really in your best interest to try to get those stacks, but I got to tell you, they're really tricky. But there is one sort of surefire way to do it, and that is with active skill 4, Delightful Stage. Using the skill makes Luna play delightful music. Hitting the enemy with a note increases inspiration gauge and decreases the skill cooldown of allies. Gaining the enhanced effect increases the inspiration gauge even more and immediately resets the cooldown of allies. I can already tell right now, Luna is probably going to bump Valby out for my alternative, for my alt character, at least for the time being. I got to learn these skills. I got to learn how to juggle them. There is a lot going on under the hood of that descendant. So we've also got Luna modification modules. We've got Nimble Footsteps. This modification module enhances Luna's movement speed and amplifies the effect range of her performance, making it easier to support her allies. Noise Surge transforms all of Luna's skills to combat skills. Performing the notes and rhythm unleashes a powerful AoE attack when the inspiration gauge is full. Summons a moving stage where she dances to recover MP and shield. And that's the one I think everybody's going to want. And that's the one that I think can only drop from the new hard Colossi. Added Luna amorphous materials. So we have a whole bunch more amorphous material patterns that are no longer going to be able to be acquired. Instead, they're going to be replaced with the AA variants, and that's 17, 38, 81, 20, 98, 68, 15, 49, 71, 27, 90, and 94. Like before, you can acquire Enhanced Cell Blueprint, Stabilizer Blueprint, Spiral Catalyst Blueprint, Code of Luna. Luna's Blueprint and Code materials will replace one of the items available from the original Amorphous. The amorphous materials of the AA variant can be acquired and used the same place as the original. They've added the new hard Void Intercept Battle Gluttony. That is going to be in like way up there in the difficulty. I'm nowhere near that. I'm sweating just thinking about it. Intercept Gluttony to collect the Hungry Sonic external components set. We're getting a new component set. Hungry Sonic, 2 pieces of the set effects grants toxin resistance. 4 pieces of the set grants an effect that recovers MP on hitting the target with a skill's unique weapon, as well as an effect that increases skill duration and MP heal modifier proportionally to max MP. New ultimate equipment, we've got the Peacemaker. Added new ultimate weapon, Peacemaker, using a dimension skill grants the single reload for peace effect. At maximum stacks, the single reload for peace effect enables you to fire the loaded ammo in a single quick burst when taking an aimed shot. And we've got a new module, Arcade Concretion, decreases movement speed, firearm attack, and all attribute attack except the non-attribute attack every time a skill is used, but each stack of Arcade Concretion increases defense and MP. Added new products, and this is what I'm sure a lot of people are going to check out first thing when they launch the game after getting the update, is going to go check out that store. So they've added the new Descendant exclusive Luna bundle, which includes Luna and the Pool Party skin. It looks great, by the way. Added Luna to the list of standard Descendants in the shop. Added Premium Ultimate Valby bundle, which includes Ultimate Valby and the Vermilion Wave skin and the Ultimate Valby bundle. Unfortunately, there's no way yet that I could see that you could get the Ultimate Valby without all of the bundled items. I think they did that with Bunny, but I think that they may have just been a launch thing. Added Valby's summer theme, Viessa's summer theme, and male summer theme set. So Valby and Viessa are getting swimsuits, and I guess all the dudes get to share the same swimsuit set. Hey, that's fine. As long as we get more swimsuits before this thing is over with, I'm okay with that. Added Luna's Albion Academy Cadet, Luna's Classic Maid Uniform, and Luna's Panda and Luna's Dinosaur limited skins. Added Luna's Augmented Reality of Madness Premium Skin Package. Added Luna's exclusive White Mouse Premium Head Skin. Added Luna's exclusive Hair and Makeup 1 and 2. Added Luna's The Ultimate High Feeling and Volume Up Standard Skins. Added Luna's Makeup Sly. Added Adjustment Control Axis times 30 and Fine Adjustment Control Axis, I'm assuming times 20 support items. Listed in the notes is some director's comments on the new Void Shards as rewards in Special Operations. And if you're skimming through the patch notes, you'll come across that. So here's the director's comment regarding those. So in the hotfix, the previous hotfix that we got, the 1.0.4, they added Void Shards as rewards to Special Operations. But unfortunately, there were just too few. The original intent was to keep Void Fragments as the primary farming source for Void Shards and get additional Void Shards from Special Operations. But the community has told us that many of you don't like this loop. So we've increased the amount of Void Shards that can be earned in Special Operations. We're also working on some steps for future improvements. Many players are currently farming materials without spending the fragments at the fusion reactor. So we're considering removing the fragments from the fusion reactor startup altogether. This would make the fragments necessary only when the reconstructing device is used at the fusion reactor. We're taking a close look at how the reward loop we planned works in practice. We'll try to finalize the reward loop that players will be satisfied with in the near future. And then we have another director's comment on the Thunder Cage. Thunder Cage should always deal 1.33 times damage according to its description, but it was dealing more when there were a lot of monsters. We fixed this bug, but we also boosted the 1.33 damage to 2x so that it doesn't become less efficient when hunting. We're well aware that the value of the items you own is important to you. To ensure that fixing the bug doesn't devalue your items, we've given it more power than we originally intended. If something like this happens again in the future, we won't stop at simply fixing the bug, but consider how to preserve the value of your items to provide a reasonable patch. And then there was the final director's comment. Greetings, this is the First Descendant director, Min-Seok Ju. Today, I'm going to outline the dev team's plan for issues that are discussed frequently by the community. And this is the one that I think everyone was really excited about. I know I am. The team is currently working on Season 1 and 2 updates, while also responding to improvement issues discovered during the live service. Today, I'm going to talk more about how we plan to improve the current state of the First Descendant, rather than about the Season 1 and 2 updates. So to start off, they're going to talk about drop rate improvement plans. While all of our drop rate systems are operating fairly in the First Descendant, sure, yeah, we'll say fairly. While they're operating fairly in the First Descendant, we do understand that some players are struggling with the vagaries of drop rate. To address this, we're planning to introduce a guaranteed drop system where you're guaranteed to get the item you want after repeating the activity a certain number of times. The First Descendant has various missions and amorphous materials with chance-dependent rewards. We're considering how we can effectively implement the guaranteed drop in such diverse reward systems, and we're working to create a farming structure that players will be happy with. We hope to make improvements before long to provide a more rational and satisfying farming experience. So that's very exciting. That's very interesting. A drop system, I think, is definitely something that a lot of people have been wanting. And more on that here in a little bit. Disposing of leftover items. This is something else that I've seen coming up quite often. And I think I might have even mentioned this in one of my last videos. I'm not positive, but I know that this has been something that I've been seeing quite frequently. Disposing of leftover items. Next is an update on items that are piling up in your consumables. There's currently no way to dispose of blueprints for Descendants and weapons that you've already completed, so there are cases where players are getting multiple copies of blueprints they already own during the farming process. And it's not a problem because I think that they can stack for a long time, but it's frustrating when you see a lot of the same thing over and over again. And when you go to look in your consumables, all you're seeing is, those things just cluttering up your consumables portion of your inventory and you're not seeing any progress towards anything else. So yeah, completely, I'm right there with everyone. It's a bummer. Back to the comment here. It says, we've been listening to the community who have told us that there needs to be a way to dispose of these unwanted items. While we could consider simply converting them into something like gold or Kuiper, we want to reward you with more value for the time you've put into the game. To resolve this, the dev team is planning a system to dismantle leftover items to get byproducts, and a rotating shop system where you can exchange the byproducts for something of value. This will allow the items you obtain to have a greater value in the game. And I know that this is something that I've wanted from the get-go. I think I even said as much in the last video, and I was going over like the 15 things that would make First Descendant better. I wanted another item shop that you could take some sort of in-game currency or some sort of material and exchange for weapons or other items, skins, that sort of thing. Probably weapons would be awesome. Supporting build diversity. It's a lot of fun for us to see the variety of builds being posted in the community lately. We love seeing you try so many different builds and are amazed by the unexpected ways you've evolved them. We hope for more builds to exist in the First Descendant, and we want an environment where players are free to experiment with different builds. However, we've found that it is difficult to take advantage of loadouts after assigning socket types. And yeah, it is. And it's not something that you're going to notice right away, but the more you get those socket types filled in, the more you realize that you're stuck with it unless you want to use a very valuable item to remove it. Now, this goes against our goal of experimenting with different builds freely. As a result, the dev team is planning to provide an environment where completely different builds can be created by assigning each loadout with different socket types. We hope this will help you experiment with different builds without feeling overwhelmed. And I'm not exactly sure how they're planning to do that. That seems a little complicated, especially for those who have put a lot into their sockets. Unless, of course, they allow us a clean slate on the other modular loadouts, in which case we're not really losing anything and we have clean slates that we can work with, to do with those as we want, or give us a way to shuffle those things around after we've bought them. But as long as we're still paying for single-use paints, I imagine we're going to be paying for single-use sockets. And then balancing. Finally, some news about balancing. We are seeing a dominance of the skill damage focus builds of some descendants. Descendants and weapons that are well suited for these builds are quite popular now. We want the meta builds to change from season to season. We want the descendants and weapons that are effective in new content to be different from those in previous seasons. Also, we're looking to increase the proportion of firearm-based combat in the game. We can't promise that all descendants and weapons will be equally balanced at all times, but our goal is to keep changing the effective builds. To that end, we promise to make constant adjustments and offer different ways to play with new content. We aim to implement the improvements I talked about today during season 1 and 2. Your feedback means a lot to the dev team. We'll do our best to provide a better experience as we build the game together, and we'll continue to listen to you as we strive to make the First Descendant even better. Thank you. So yeah, as you can see, there's a ton of things that got covered in the update, and the devs have clearly been taking all of our feedback and just soaking it up. Now, not everything has been addressed, but I think it's safe to say that given time, it's going to keep getting better. One of the things that really stood out to me was that the devs are looking to implement the pity system for drops. Of course, that comes with its own possible issues. If the pity system requirements are too high, then it becomes a worthless grind, since even an item with a 3% drop rate has the probability of guaranteeing a drop at about 97 attempts. Still, I think it will solve a lot of problems players have with the RNG system. Not everyone is going to agree, but this is a huge step forward in the right direction. Now, as for which items will be included in this pity system will be the most important thing that I'm sure we're going to have to discuss it out. We all know we want the activator and catalyst blueprints to be on there, sure, but I'm curious if you think that should also include other blueprints, weapon blueprints, descendant blueprints. Let me know what you think in the comments. So yes, this is a huge win for the First Descendant players, and now that Luna is here, I'm gonna be working my butt off and getting her leveled up and possibly making a user guide for you, maybe, because dang, she definitely has something of a learning curve. In the meantime, let's toss the questions over to you guys. What are your thoughts on the update 1.0.5? The first update is what it's called, I think. What are your thoughts? Most importantly, what are your thoughts on the future of the First Descendant? Is it looking bright, or do you disagree with all of this stuff? Is it just no good? Put those in there as well. Let's get some conversation going down in the comment section. So that's it for this video, guys. I know it was a little bit long, and it really could have been a lot longer. Like I said, if you want to go check out those patch notes, the fixes, and the changes, there's a link in the description that'll take you right over to the First Descendant official website where you can read those. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then be sure to leave a like. And of course, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more First Descendant content, as well as the occasional live stream. You can find me over on my Discord, and if you want to help support the channel directly, you can do so by becoming a member of the Patreon and buying me a coffee. Links to all of that in the link place down below. As always, have an amazing day, everyone. Keep being awesome, and I will see you all in Valby.